Welcome to
Hey,
our next episode. Our new. Sorry, I'm bad at this. I haven't done the hosting that much. But we're here to talk about what if. What if I did this right? That would be fantastic.
Nexus event. The
Whoa,
intro,
whoa,
right.
the intro
whoa.
went smoothly.
Variant.
Right.
So with me are two fantastic people. I have first Matt,
Hey,
co-host of the Ether podcast.
yes, it is me. It is I, Mr. Porter Matty Ice, Matt the Stallion, the Great Matsby, so many other earliest representing my Ether podcast bros every Sunday on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. And I am super excited to be back with you guys yet again.
And we're excited to have you. We're
Absolutely.
also excited to have Victor, who has
Hello.
been, working super hard in comics.
Hardest working man in comics is what
Hardest
they say.
working man in comics. Newly
What they say.
minted. Oh, watch this now. Phenomenological narratologist.
Whoa.
That's my new. Yeah, that's right. That's a new title that I've been christened. So it means I teach people how to tell stories, which is true.
Yeah.
So
I dig it.
yeah. But yeah, I'm super excited to be back for this one. I missed you guys last week. Real talk.
And we missed you. We missed you as well. It was me and Kyle just
Yeah, I
chatting
missed
about
it
the
too.
episode.
I had a family
Oh,
situation. So
man.
we all
Okay.
back. It's a
Okay.
reunion for everybody.
Yeah, let's
right
go.
now.
Let's go.
But here we are. I'm Joe, by the way. I don't know if I did the whole introduction.
You didn't
thing.
say yourself.
I have normally been introduced as a wizard of Fandom Spotlight. I think this week it's appropriate if I'm the sorcerer because I don't have a hat.
There you go.
So, and we're talking the Sorcerer Supreme.
Well.
Sorcerer Supreme? Well, let's get into it. So this week's episode is what if Doctor Strange lost his heart? First and foremost, what did we think?
That
So I'm gonna just jump in the deep end right out the gate. So I possibly could be having delusions of grandeur, and if that's
Oh.
what it is, it's fine. But I think if it's just gonna be contained in this show, then fine. But I feel like in my heart of hearts that Marvel just kind of showed their hands with what might possibly happen in No Way Home, and I just got like a crazy theory. So just walk with me for a second. Just walk with me.
I'm listening.
So a lot of Marvel fans have always complained. It wasn't like a major thing, but they always talked about like in Endgame when Doctor Strange came back from the snap that he's wearing the Eye of Agamotto, which we know Thanos crushed it on Titan. So they was just like, oh, why do you have that? So there was like editing issue, blah, blah, blah. But in the No Way Home trailers, he's wearing it again, which as we know, the time stone's been dusted. So why do you need to wear the Eye of Agamotto? Because that was containing the time stone. One, you shouldn't have it because it was broken. Two, if it wasn't broken, why are you still wearing it? Because there's nothing housing it. So to kind of bury the lead a little bit, I think that going off of what the Eternals were saying about how the snaps kind of brought the deviants back and awoke them, I'm thinking that 4 snaps, 2 from Thanos, 1 from Hulk, 1 from Iron Man, might have broken the evil Doctor Strange out of his little prism thing. Because in his world, he still has the Eye of Agamotto because he never would have accounted Thanos. He still would have had that. And everybody's been saying, if you watch the No Way Home trailer, like, oh, why is Doctor Strange being so cavalier with this reality changing spell? Like, why would he just help Peter? And Doctor Strange is a mega douche. He's full of himself. So it's not
He doesn't
that,
understand the word no. It's not a very good concept.
It's not
Christina.
that uncharacteristic,
yeah.
but coming off of like saving the universe and seeing like the effects that Tom has, him just being, obviously the trailers like bits and pieces of stuff. So it's like there's the appearance of him just being, Peter's like, oh, yo, can you change this? And he's like, yeah, sure. Like, let's do it. So part of me feels like, and then if you think of the title No Way Home, Evil Strange doesn't have a home anymore. He blew up his universe. So he has no way home.
Yes, real quick. As mentioned in various panels past, there will be spoilers. I'm here to talk with us about this tonight.
Sorry,
you haven't watched the episode. My bad. But I'm thinking so because I'm thinking if you go back to Endgame again when Peter was talking about I was asleep and then I woke up and Doctor Strange said, hey, we need to go. I'm thinking that it could be a possibility that the snaps broke Evil Strange out of his thing. He showed up when everybody came back from the snap and like, I don't know, imprisoned the real Doctor Strange or whatever happened. And it's kind of just been him. Like, so
I will
chilling
say
amongst us.
I will say the Eye of Agamotto, at least in Endgame, because the No Way Home can be whatever, but at least in Endgame's already like chock full of like weird little flick flubs. There's a scene where Scott
here we go.
Hey, oh damn,
Is
my fridge
cramming a
over.
Leviathan through a wormhole when he's already supposed to be over at the van helping Hope fix the van?
Wait. I have an answer for that. I've had an answer for that for
Is it a
years.
little
He's,
answer
I've
or a
been
big
waiting.
No.
For
It's
someone to bring
it's
this
okay.
up.
So when they said that they wanted everybody, why did we automatically assume that excluded Hank Pym?
Well, because Scott had his only suit.
Did he?
I mean, the other suit's broken.
But could it have been fixed? I mean, it's been like 5 years, right? Like,
well, it's been 5 years with no one working on the stupid suit. Because
or
literally,
so we thought.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
All three of them were dusted. Who else would work on it?
I mean, listen, if you're putting it into the context of the time machine of Hank Pym particles allow you to go back and forth, it's possible that somebody grabbed a suit on the way back.
They were in the lab.
Seems like
they were in the lab.
No,
I mean, definitely a stretch.
They weren't in the lab. They were outside on a rooftop or a parking lot somewhere.
No. I'm talking about Steve and
Cap and Steve.
Yeah.
I mean, when Cap and Steve, the same person. When Cap and Tony went back.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems...
Did they maybe grab a little something else?
Like, we might need this.
We might need one of these. Hey, Hank.
Help us out,
that's
brother.
a total stretch.
That's what you want is an octogenarian out there helping you fight. You know, Hank Pym's dangerous.
Okay.
Last week's
You're absolutely right. Hank Pym is dangerous. Okay, what if it's Bill Foster? There you go.
Okay,
because Bill could grow.
I would buy that. I'd
there
buy
you
that.
go.
Okay,
there you go.
Bill's pretty. I mean, you don't mess with Lawrence Fishburne.
Damn right.
Love it.
So, Victor, what'd you think of the episode overall?
Overall, it was a very interesting episode. Got super dark. I'm not a big Doctor Strange fan either. Like, I wasn't a fan of the movie. I'm saying it out loud. I'm sorry, y'all. So all the parts and pieces that lead up into this story, I'm kind of like, meh. This one is another one though that the first bit of change is not directly addressed in the episode, and I find that so very weird that they have done that for the last 2 episodes. Of there's a major thing that is different, in this regard. It's Christine dies, but Christine wasn't with him when he gets into his accident. So
right,
what happened there?
Right, like we don't address that fact.
That's the thing. Like, this is also the first one where there's like 2 decisions, if not more.
Yeah,
because
there's a bunch of decisions.
Because it's that, and then there's the break in the whole episode where you find out one of the big triggering points is Strange decided, nah, I'm gonna go have tea with Wong. So
time to drink.
Right.
No, it's true.
But no, I really enjoyed once the Ancient One shows up, I enjoyed this episode because what I got from this ultimately is it's her fault.
Everything
is her fault.
Like, no, it's not. It is, but it's not, because look, this whole thing can be summed up as Strange's inability to accept the word no for literally anything. Like,
very true.
Yeah, the Ancient One shouldn't have given Steven the ability he has.
But is that true though? Because I mean, as the episode goes on to show, we see there's a version of him that does accept the no. And moves on. But the reason why those are 2 separate things is totally the Ancient One's fault.
But we also don't know that was the only time. Steven talks about Dark Strange, I guess, because he's not really evil. He's just,
he's just lonely.
Strange Supreme.
He's just
an
lonely.
Idiot. Beetle Jacket Strange.
Is that...
So, but that's the thing he brings up. He's like, how many times are you going to say yes? Like, every time Wong offers to make you tea and you're sitting there alone, like, how many times is that going to happen? There could be 300 other dark Doctor Stranges out there.
It's true.
That just didn't succeed.
Which is better than what Bad Strange does.
Right.
Very true.
I enjoyed the episode. So a fun little thing I noticed, this is the first episode where we had characters from the MCU in it that were all played by their original voice actors.
Beat me by 1 second, which because someone else pointed that out to me, and I was just like, I think something could be said for that, because that could mean like the cast of that movie actually, like, that source material contributes to something down the line that they needed to be a part of.
If I had to be honest, I'm betting it's probably just a financial situation.
Killing my dreams.
also, arguably, the cast of the Doctor Strange movies is lower on the totem pole of the causes problems for Disney and social media.
Well,
yeah.
You think so? Like, you think Disney is that well versed in magic and dark talk and
no, it's not that. I'm talking literally about
like
what they do.
Oh, like the cast.
Like the
Yeah,
actors,
you're
like,
right. Yeah,
like
Benedict ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, Rachel McAdams isn't tripping.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so wait. Here's my question, because I was trying to figure this out watching it for the second time. Who is the other Christine?
What do you mean?
So there's two Christines in this episode. One is Rachel McAdams. The other one is played by Leslie Bibb. They're both named Christine. They have different last names, but I couldn't figure out who the second Christine is.
Oh shit. Was that somebody that, what was this in the credits, like the end credits?
Yeah, it shows Leslie Bibb's name in the opening credits, and then it says that her character is Christine something. I can't think of the name, but I'm trying to figure out like who that was.
You think it was somebody that cut for time? Because I don't remember. I don't remember there being another female like presence like in that show. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to like think of the episode.
Right, like that's what I'm like. Who was?
Yeah, so I don't know.
We do have some contribution from the chat. Laya Paris, which I believe, says the right answer is always Mephisto.
Absolutely,
which is true.
Everything's Mephisto.
It's always Mephisto, and it's always going to be Mephisto. It's the
until
Dio.
It's not.
He's the Dio of the MCU.
Until it is. Right.
No, that's exactly until it is Mephisto.
Until it is Mephisto, it's always Mephisto.
Everything's Mephisto.
I like it.
But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I thought it was dark, and it was really bad to come off of a dark episode into another dark episode, but it was really good. A friend of mine brought up a good point. He's like, it's really bad when their only real way to have these strong male or these male characters, I guess, go like, oh no, I'm gonna go crazy and do stupid stuff, is to fridge their significant other, and for them to have to do it to Christine like 70 times in the episode
repeatedly.
That gets exhausting. I'm like, that's
dark.
True.
That was when I knew this was a dark episode. Even when the part where he doesn't show up at all and she still dies, I was like,
she still dies.
Come on, bro.
What was the random heart attack when it was on the dance floor?
At that point, I would stop because there's like nothing you can do. Like that's where we go.
Has he not read The Time Machine? Like, has he not?
Apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not. He's reading other books in the library of Cagliostro. He didn't read that one. There.
So, in general, when let's see, we already talked about the timeline within a timeline and how there's possibly, and what did they say, that this one was anchored off or cut off from the remainder of the timelines or something? So not only is this reality collapsed now, because that's how it ends, is he's like, nah, I'm gonna ignore literally every person that said this is a bad idea and bring her back. And then
what's up, bro?
Oh my god, did you just do that? Is this how we get this version of Strange? Because Sylvie goes there as a Armageddon
this
event.
Is what I'm trying to say, bro.
What did you just do to me?
Cause look, and look at it this again with the No Way Home trailer. So a lot of people are speculating that the part in the trailer where it seems like Doctor Strange is chasing Peter and he has that box, and they're saying like, oh, they think Doctor Strange imprisoned like the different guy like Lizard, Doc Ock, Green Goblin. Like a lot of people are saying like, oh, they're imprisoned in that box, and Peter's trying to set them free. Because like if they go back home, they're gonna like be going back to die. Because they're saying that they were pulled from the part right before they got killed.
Right. So
Doc Ock drowning in the lake, in the Hudson, Green Goblin with the collider. I don't remember how the Lizard died because I've seen the Amazing Spider-Man literally once.
I think he just fell.
Yeah, I think that is what happened. So I'm saying, why couldn't the real Doctor Strange be trapped in that box? And Peter's trying to save the real Doctor Strange, because you figured out, because it's like, I know the trailer, they do that on purpose so you don't know the actual plot, but it's just like the way that they lined it up. Peter asked Strange to help him with the spell. Strange and Peter fuck up the spell. Now Doctor Strange is trying to beat Peter up. It's like, you messed up the spell that you agreed to do. Like, why are you trying to beat him up now? Like, why are you mad at Peter when you agreed to do the spell that Wong told you not to do in the first place? I don't know. I'm kind of on that's not the real Doctor Strange train.
It wouldn't surprise me if it is, because it still fits
over here.
It still fits his MO of like doing the stupid thing that people are like, don't do the stupid thing, and he's like, I'm gonna do the stupid thing.
I'm a doctor, trust me.
Yeah, exactly. He thinks he's, and we all know people that are like this. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room, and he can't be told otherwise. Even though Wong has easily 20-30 years of magic experience on him. He's literally only been a wizard for like 3.
Real shit. And he's the Sorcerer Supreme, been a
Yeah,
wizard for
yeah.
like 3 years.
Well,
You think
like,
Wong feels a certain kind of way about that? Like,
I
really,
bet.
dude? Like,
I bet.
no, what it is, it's that Wong doesn't want to be the store manager. He just wants to be the assistant manager.
Smart.
Because then everything, whenever
on
he
him.
messes up, it's on Strange.
Wong
job.
is Jon Snow. He's the prince that was promised. It's the king we deserve.
I'm not doing that. I'm not.
So-
I just get the tea, bro.
That ain't-
That's
that
it.
I'm
ain't
starting
it
to
for me,
wonder
bro.
too, if because in last week's episode, if we're going to talk about Doctor Strange and
Sure.
how it's potentially not the right Strange, in last week's episode, they basically pointed out that the 3 Phase 1 MCU movies were all like happening within the same week.
Yeah,
Right? So like, was it
Nick
Doctor
Fury's
Strange,
big week? Yeah.
Iron Man 2,
Iron Man,
right?
Hulk, and Thor.
Yeah.
We're all in the week span. Yep.
I'm kind of wondering if No Way Home and Shang-Chi are happening at the same time, because Wong's going somewhere and Wong's in the trailers for Shang-Chi. So
Yeah, I'm kind of under the impression that it's starting to feel like that Loki, WandaVision, and potentially No Way Home are all happening simultaneously,
or at least within a month
yeah,
of each other.
and it's
Well-
like those convergent events, because a
Yeah.
lot of people are saying like that moment where He Who Remains is like, oh shit, like what just happened. A lot of
Count
people
that
are
up.
thinking that at that moment it was Wanda becoming a Nexus being, Doctor Strange fucking up the spell, and it's
Doctor
all
Strange is.
yes, yeah, Doctor Strange is.
Well,
Like-
wait. It can't be that Strange messes up the spell at the same time, because WandaVision
happening-
happens.
Oh, one was before.
yeah.
Far
Well,
From
WandaVision's
Home, right?
before Far From Home.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
Correct.
WandaVision's like a week after.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Very true.
But there
very true.
is something to that, though, that I think you're definitely on, where we're gonna see something happen in No Way Home that's gonna correspond with all of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, technically, in his realm, it's all time happening at the same time, so
That's
it
true.
doesn't
So-
really matter
true.
that Wanda
Going-
happened here and no
going
one
back
happened there.
to Wong not wanting the job. Laya Paris on I think YouTube has basically said he's only the Sorcerer Supreme because of white privilege. And when you consider the previous Sorcerer Supreme,
Yeah, I mean,
kind of tracks.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's why listen, I'm coming back and I'm reiterating. I think it was the Ancient One's fault that she even decided to do this whole little split thing. Like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. Chick, you died. Okay, like you
Yeah.
don't know what's about to happen. You are
Dang.
just messing up with stuff, and it has no consequence on you whatsoever because you're already gone. That's messed up.
Are you trying to say that's why the Ancient One shaved her hair so it wouldn't like a race thing? It's like, oh, blonde hair, blue eyed Sorcerer Supreme. That's not racist at all.
So you think a white person with a bald head doesn't look racist?
I mean, I'm just saying.
You're not wrong.
Sorcerer
call some
Supreme
skinheads, man.
SS. Is that where we're going with this? Is that what okay. I'm woke now. I
Look,
see it. I see it.
I'm calling the Rooney Rule for the next Sorcerer Supreme. I'm calling it now.
Oh.
So we've discussed where we think it's going as far as the greater MCU as a whole. Where do you think we're going to go for the series from here?
The Kraken made its return.
It
That was
did.
like the first
did.
time we saw something pop up in more than one episode.
That's
So
true.
one would think that would be a thing.
Yep.
And like we were saying before we started recording, there are clips showing, evil Beetle Jacket, Doctor Strange, and Captain Carter having a conversation. So
Right.
I don't know. Are we thinking that the octopus is like the big bad, or
No,
No,
like the red
no.
herring of a big bad?
I think it's just a very powerful entity to show up. I think the big bad is Ultron.
I'm with that.
I used to think that. Before this episode.
Well, I think it's
yeah.
the big bad for this season because they've already said they're going to do more episodes.
Right,
Oh, really?
right,
Cool with
right,
that.
right. But no, I still think that what's ultimately going to happen is the big bad of this Strange might open the door for Ultron being the last thing that they fight, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be because of this Strange that's a problem.
But I don't think that necessarily makes him the big bad. I think it's Strange. He's an idiot. He's an idiot with quasi godlike powers, and he's like, oh man, I'm gonna do good, and he thought he was doing good doing this, and he's just going to keep causing the same problem. I think like that's what's we're going to have end up happening. He's going to be like, oh, I'm going to go try and stop this Ultron from becoming a problem. Shows up, Ultron's like, wait, I can cross dimensions? Okay.
I got your cape. No, I can definitely see that being a situation. Do you wonder like why Dark Doctor Strange didn't go after Dormammu?
That's a good point. He kind of skipped everything.
I think this Doctor Strange was literally pulling from like dimensions attached to like this dimension, if that makes sense, the dimension that they're from, and didn't want to even tap into the dark dimension because it's like too alien or something. I don't know. That's the problem. And
that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
They referenced him. That's why.
Well, yeah, totally. But he
said, I don't want that smoke. I'm not ready for that.
I made a bargain with him. We're done.
So I also think it has something to do with the fact that like he already saw what happened when somebody tried to get power from that side of things from Dormammu. And he couldn't beat Dormammu before. He technically just had to trick him into winning.
It's true.
Very true. Very
true. So I'm going to show him a little Final Fantasy nerd side of things. Is this Doctor Strange a blue mage? Because he's got monster skills now.
That's you know what? I'm gonna say yes.
Fair. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm rolling.
And then I've also heard him referred to as Dr. Kirby, because he's absorbing all these monsters.
Everybody.
Crazy.
Listen, I felt bad for Christine when he actually saved her and he steps out of the shadows, and I'm like, that's what a fucked up thing to come back from the dead to see. That's just,
they tried to cram that Beauty and the Beast reference down our throats.
Sure did.
I didn't need that. I was like, okay, Disney, I get it.
Okay. Hell as old as time.
Right. I didn't need that at all.
So what was some of your favorite things about the episode all in all? We've been talking about it in general. Was there a memory of the episode that stood out, both like or dislike?
Her dying dancing.
That was
I was like, what? I was like, you have this whole death montage and you pick that? Like someone sat, thought that, put pen to paper, drew it.
Do you know what bothers me more than that is when in the version where they go to the pizza parlor and the guy walks in and just literally just points a gun at her.
Right.
Like, what?
So I did read a theory where they're saying, because like a lot of people were like commenting on this, like, oh, like death really was after her ass, like all this random shit. Like a lot of people are saying that was actually Doctor Strange trying to put shit back on the right path.
Oh, like, that's dark.
Like, so like it's another.
Yeah, it was like a branch Strange who saw the path that he would have went on. And he was like intentionally trying to kill her so that he would become Doctor Strange, like seek that out.
That's the dankest thing I've ever heard of, and I love it.
Yeah, so it was like they were saying, like, even to the point where it's just like you don't see the gunman's face because like he was the actual mugger, or it's like he caused it to have the heart attack. He made all the car accidents happen. He's like, damn, like if she lives, I'll never become Doctor Strange to stop Dormammu and all this stuff. So it's just like him constantly following that Doctor Strange back in time to like will her to die. And it was just
made me love this episode.
It was just like that, bro. I'm trying to say, I feel like this episode told us so much. Even the fact that the Watcher actually got involved, which is to an extent
we didn't even
never seen it before.
The fact that this is the first interaction he's had.
Yeah. Like whole sentences, like, "What's up, bro?"
Right. Like, I loved it when like Doctor Strange he's like,
"You're not gonna help?"
Hey man, hey, who out here? I know somebody out here.
I just when he's doing all of his absorptions and stuff, and then he looks back and where the Watcher was, and yeah, I can imagine the Watcher like, oh shit, that was close.
He almost got me.
He just, because you know his eyes glow, he just closed his eyes. He was still there. Like,
he just went straight Drax on him.
He was still there,
really still.
So we got some more YouTube commentary and such. Devin Boca says this was a great episode, most Twilight Zone episode of them all, and that's super true. Yeah,
very true.
That leads into the fact that I do enjoy that each one of these are very different in their tone and vibe. With the first one being the most straightforward like action movie, and then you got a heist movie, a murder mystery, and some Twilight Zone depressing
horror
stuff.
straight horror.
It was very horror.
Oh my god.
And Laia Paris says dancing saved the universe. Why can't it kill someone?
Oh damn, too soon.
Why? That's messed up. I'm never gonna dance again.
He's really never gonna dance.
Yeah, never ever.
That verse is never
so
gonna dance
so
again.
here's the thing that I think is really interesting about the concepts of Strange going back. When he goes back, is he no longer the Sorcerer Supreme? Like there's so many things that you would think that he could do, being that he still technically has his power, but he doesn't do it. And I'm really curious as to why that is.
Well, he did a couple of times going back. He like picked up the car or something like that using magic or whatever. I think it is, but that's a really weird thing to consider, because like, is he going back and replacing himself on the timeline?
Right. Like, is he him? Is it Looper? What are we dealing with right now?
That's like what's that? The grandfather paradox. Like, if you go back in time to kill your grandfather, how would you have ever been born to go back in time to kill
your own grandfather? Come on, Futurama told us that.
Oh,
there you go.
dirty. But yeah, like when the guy comes in with the gun, and now he doesn't get to shoot, or the fact that he's not using the time stone as well as Thanos did, which is just go, let's rewind, and this is not happening now. Sorry,
even the way he used the time stone, that's not how we've seen it used. Usually, like, it's actually like a rewinding of time. He's just like, and I'm back.
He's just going back.
Well, and that could be part of like how it was used. Like, Thanos didn't use the time stone outside of the gauntlet, and the gauntlet could be part of the reason he can do it like that.
That's a good point.
And they were like small increments of times, like when he was doing it in Doctor Strange, not like large leaps.
I mean, he went back years.
Yeah, over and over again.
Yeah.
And even he Beetle Jacket Strange had said that when what was the guy's name, like the helper, the librarian, I forget what his name was.
Baone or something.
Obion.
Yeah. Like, even when he came back, he was old. He was like, bro, he's like, you've been gone for centuries. Right. Like, my guy,
you stop time for yourself.
Yeah, you've been gone for quite some time, dude.
Yeah. But okay, so in that regard, all right, so this is where I go right back to, it's the Ancient One's fault. All the people that were training in the mystic arts, where were they in this setup? Like, here's this guy doing this thing that even the Ancient One acknowledges is bad, right? Like, you shouldn't do this. Like, I'm trying to give you It's a Wonderful Life, and you totally missed the read and just actually did it. Where were her charges that she could send and go, watch him, because if he goes too far, everything is done? Like,
well, aren't they all dead? Like, isn't that part of the thing? Is like, what's his face that was a freaking Death Stranding guy? Hannibal.
Was he killing wizards, just offing wizards?
Hannibal dude, he was he killed most of the people at the various sanctums.
He killed a lot of them, but like, clearly
he blew up 2 of the sanctums.
In Endgame, there's a ton of them,
right?
So like, where did those people, like, after hundreds of years, like, none of those guys were like, hey, stop doing that?
I think a lot of it really depends on like how they looked at stuff, like how they view things, because they're all individual people. It's not like they're like freaking robots. But a lot of them probably learned the mystic arts from other teachers. And there's a lot of them that probably did follow the Ancient One, and then when they found out the Ancient One was using dark magic,
you said not to do that.
Like, exactly. So they're probably like, yeah, maybe I should not put any stock in stuff that she said.
She's a bit of a bitch.
No, she's a parent. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, I told y'all not to touch it. That don't got nothing to do with me.
So Devin Boca, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, and I'm terrible with this. Brings up that Strange used the top, and I'm not sure what the top is. I feel like it's an artifact that weighs one of the 30,000 artifacts in the first movie. And then Strange used the time stone. Use the time stone to deal with loss, and that is true. The problem is Strange used the time stone to deal with loss and never actually dealt with it.
Right at all. Right. If anything, drove himself more crazy.
True.
So
true.
I mean, the literal definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And
that's right.
Like, where has Mordo been in all of this? Like all this shit that Doctor Strange has been fucking up, and his whole
progressively angrier.
Like his whole quest is like, yo, there's too many wizards. We got too much power. We're doing too much. Stephen Strange has just been fucking shit up since that movie, and Mordo has done nothing.
Yeah, he's been walking around taking magic from the simple people.
And it's not like,
you trying to hoop? No,
not anymore.
And it's not like Strange like moves around a lot.
He's in the same address. Right.
He stays in the same place.
No, more than that. More than that. He's where you left him.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only do you know where he lives, you brought him there. You helped move him in.
Right.
Laya Paris says all the other mystic artists went on to train Iron Fist, and if so, like, why isn't he better?
The worst teachers ever.
That hurts me here. Right in here. There's a deep pain.
Danny tries. He tries.
Does he?
He tries.
Does
hard.
he?
It's an A for effort.
Oh,
I brought it up
merit
before.
badge.
The participation award.
The best. I brought it up before. The best episode of the second season of Iron Fist was the one where it was him and Luke Cage.
Absolutely,
they actually had chemistry.
Without question.
Super.
So I am curious about the behind the scenes story stuff. Like, I really like that concept of the figure that kept killing Christine specifically was a version of Strange, because again, you're talking so many different ways that she died. Somebody set fire to her house, ran into the car, shot her up, like
random heart explosion.
Like that person is a straight up menace. And it goes back to, so I asked this question on TikTok the other day. I got a lot of colorful answers. I'm going to bring it to you guys. This is about the second episode with T'Challa going out into space. Do you guys think that the Wakandans took over Earth before they went to look for him in space, to like make sure that he wasn't anywhere on Earth, that they actually took over?
No, because
I
don't think King T'Chaka would do that.
Why not?
Well, because like he was so isolationist. I think he would increase their spy network before taking over the world.
King T'Chaka was the first one to integrate other things. Case in point, when they were in Lagos.
Yeah.
That's clearly not Wakanda, right? But there were Wakandans who got killed in Lagos, and he did an open conference to admit that they did that.
But he still all the Wakandans there were under the guise of what people thought Wakanda was.
Oh yeah, like a third world backwater country.
My thing is that he would never admit it if they were truly isolationists. My thing is that if he looked at, all right, so taking like Civil War and Black Panther and put them together, if he went after his own brother for his brother stealing a rather abundant natural resource, what would he do to the rest of the world if he thought that they took something truly rare like his own son? What would he do to them?
Well, I mean, the other element too is like he'd have to, I'd imagine for him to do that, he'd have to have evidence that someone got that far into Wakanda to kidnap him.
Or the absence of his son in general. I think that would be.
I was gonna say.
Well, I know, but what I mean in general is like, you know, if he thought, oh, he's somewhere else on the planet, someone has him there. Like, I don't think he'd do that. Like, he doesn't seem. Now, would he search? And that's why I think he'd increase his spy network, like they already had. But I don't think because he even said they sent people into space, so they must have known.
No. If you watch it again, the message when he sends it out, he's old. Well, when they record that, he's old. So that means that for 20 years he's been looking on Earth, and then they finally go out.
Do you think that he doesn't have aging up technology? Like, do you think the Wakandans can't have their holograms age appropriately?
I would say no, because the image that they show of T'Challa is him as a kid.
Right.
In the message, the image that they listen, that's a good push. And that was the actual answer I have, is because the image that they have of T'Challa is strictly him as a kid. That's what they're looking for. Yeah. So like they don't have the means to show what he would look like as he gets older. No, they don't know how to do that.
And I don't think it's necessarily that he took over Earth, that Wakanda took over the Earth or anything like that. I just don't think. I think it would take longer than 20 years to do something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about the takeover, but I'm kind of rolling with what you're saying, Vic. Like a grieving father, he's like all his morals now go out.
There's a lot that he gonna go.
Do I think he may have gone out of his way to do some pretty big stuff? Yeah, probably.
Well, I can definitely agree with that. But I do think that if they did take over, they would be kind enough to leave a Dairy Queen for Peter Quill to work at. Like,
Sure.
Exactly.
they're not going to wipe everything out.
They took everything over but the Midwest.
Well, no, they took it over, but they're like Dairy Queen, Wakanda. Like that's
well,
what.
No, they took over everything but the Midwest, and they were like, "What do we want? Coal?
What do we want that
no,
for?
Thank you."
Yuck.
We're good.
You said dairy. We're an almond milk family around here.
Almond milk queen. That's what we're for. But no, I do like that behind the scenes story aspect that kind of follows for these episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering though if any of these worlds are because I'm under the impression that most of these worlds are different worlds.
Yeah, separate.
But do you think some of them are like attached? Like, for example, we don't know 100%, but like perhaps the one that is the T'Challa Star-Lord, do you think that maybe it's the same one that the Earth's mightiest heroes were killed?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a valid point.
I feel like it kills my whole Wakanda took over theory.
Well,
I'm with it.
I mean, maybe they're like, yeah, we're gonna like do some stuff, and then Loki shows up as like, I'm gonna take over the world, and they're just like, we're just gonna stay a little agrarian.
We're gonna go look in space now.
Yeah, y'all are cool here. We'll be back.
We're done with this.
We'll be right back.
Lia Paris says, well, the MCU world is only New York, so he definitely took over New York, and I can see it.
Damn, that's facts.
I mean, come on, they got LA in there. LA's in there. Visited.
Do we know who bought Avengers Tower yet?
No.
Not yet. Baxter Building.
That's what I've been saying. I've been saying it. I want it so bad.
Now I'm rolling. That thing got bought 4 years ago.
4 years ago?
More like 9.
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there? See what I did there?
Yeah.
See what I did there? I'm just saying, John Cena for the thing. I'm just saying.
So we know we still have that. I'm still on the Always Sunny cast.
That would be hilarious.
Wow. Yeah, that's fun.
That would be hilarious.
That's fun.
I'm rolling.
Danny DeVito as Mole Man, though. I'm sorry.
Yes, and that's the one that they've all brought up is Danny DeVito as Mole Man.
I'm rolling. That would be actually that fits kind of.
I like that.
But now someone had asked John Cena like, would he play the thing? And he was just like, yeah, in a heartbeat. And I was just like, I wouldn't be mad at that.
No.
But no, he'd have the wrong powers.
Right, you're right. John Cena would have to be the Invisible Woman. You're absolutely correct.
Oh my God, that's
John
perfect.
Cena jokes never get old.
No, they don't. Why don't conventions take better stock in that? Right, like they promise a John Cena photo op, but it's just you and your family.
It's just an empty chair.
It's just an empty chair, and then when you tell everybody like, "No, it's John Cena," they're like,
$20 bucks a head. Like,
Lia says Iron Fist bought the Avengers Tower.
That's where he's been at.
You stop that filthy talk. You stop that right now.
It's not Netflix Iron Fist. It's MCU Iron Fist. We haven't seen him yet.
There you go.
My
recasting.
faith is.
That's where he's been. That's where he's been all this time, training to get better.
So we know the next episode is Party Thor, and then we have another. I think an episode between Party Thor and the zombie episode, which I'm super looking forward to the zombie episode because apparently it's also got Peter Parker with magic. So
that's the same episode. That's dope.
I think he is known as the Zombie Slayer, Peter Parker.
I'm with that.
I'm down.
I'm cosplaying the crap out of that. Watch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Watch.
Which is just Spider-Man with the cloak, the flying cloak thing. But still, that's
all it takes, I guess.
Which gives total credence to Miles Morales in Into the Spider-Verse. Okay.
Yep.
Let's go. Spider-Man gets a cape. Let's go.
There was I don't know if this was real or fake or if this was totally unrelated, but there was so the black kid from Stranger Kids. Yeah, they're Stranger Kids. That's pretty might as well be called Stranger Kids.
He's one of the Stranger Kids.
He's one of the Stranger Kids. There was like pictures of him walking around with one of the 3D pajama suits on, and people are like, "Oh, is he Miles Morales?" Like there's like this is like recently that this was like
yeah. I mean, shout out to Caleb.
Yeah, we're also getting Kamala Khan already. So I mean, the Young Defenders or young
Champions.
Champions. That's
Champions.
it. Yeah. Champions is a logical next step. We could have Nova We could have Miles Morales Spider-Man. We could have her in there. We could get any of them. We could have like freaking
What are the twins? What are the twins? Billy and Tommy, the twins?
Yeah,
you can age them up easily.
Yeah,
hey,
they were doing that on this show.
I was about to say, you can age them up super easy.
One day,
right. That's a lot. That's a lot of good stuff right there. I'm super excited about that. The prospect of those things playing out, because I think that's going to be mad fun.
So do you think that if they're going to be all meeting up at some point, which that's still my personal theory, is that we're going to have like a lot of these characters show back up? Who, I don't know. I feel like it's probably at least going to be Doctor Strange, Captain Carter, T'Challa, and Party Thor. Mostly because like, who are they going to pull from all the heroes die? Nick Fury? Like
pretty much.
Cool, but like if he doesn't have a helicarrier, like he can't fight Ultron.
Very true. Very true.
Do you think that's the final person that they would all team up to fight? Like that's what they're going to assemble for?
It's the final episode, and I feel like that's going to be the big ending arc of this season. Is going to be, I don't know. Like if I had to guess, Doctor Strange is like, man, I can't let this happen again. So he starts multi-plane hopping somehow, because he's so freaking powerful now. He can't stop the universe from collapsing, but he can probably jump to another one. I feel like, or maybe the Watcher's like, yeah, we can't let this happen, and plucks him out of it or something. I don't know.
Ooh, the Watcher intervenes. Yeah, I like that.
Because he always does.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I can't.
The involver.
Yeah. if that's the case, what I really want is Strange just to be like, oh, you choose now. Thanks, Dick.
Right when my lady was dying. I mean,
listen, that's small stuff. That's small stuff.
Yeah, kind of going with Joe's idea. Wouldn't it be crazy if we're going with like the Beetle Jacket Strange, like reality hopping? Like, what if he like reality hopped into like the live action MCU, and the last scene is like live Benedict Cumberbatch.
See, what I think
with like interacting with somebody.
What I think might happen is like, if we have the No Way Home isn't the actual Doctor Strange, which I hadn't considered that before, that it is the Beetle Strange. That's the perfect name for him, Beetle Strange, because it looks like one.
No, trademarking it.
That like, he's gonna drop in right before. Like I don't personally think that it's been Beetle Strange since Endgame, but I do believe it's very possible that could be a different Doctor Strange. It could also be Mephisto. It's always Mephisto until it's not Mephisto, and then it is Mephisto.
Yeah. I mean, the movie's based off that comic, so
right.
Loosely based,
right? And they change stuff all the time. Like,
well, Peter does go to Strange first to get people to forget his name, but then it ultimately ends up getting into Mephisto territory.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So, do you think that this whole situation with the other villains in No Way Home, do you think that's like Peter plane hopping, or the villains dropped in our reality, or that the core reality?
I think that's Peter hopping.
You think it's Peter hopping?
I'm like fighting between the two. Yeah. I'm like torn, because remember in the Far From Home, not Far From Home. What was the home? Yeah, Far From Home. Remember in the in the trailer for that movie, because Endgame hadn't come out yet, they changed the suits. Like, and remember, because like he was wearing the Iron Spider suit in the actual movie, but in the trailer it was like his regular.
They've been doing
Homecoming.
They've been doing that since
with Hulk, with
at
the
least
Hulkbuster,
Ragnarok.
with the Hulkbuster armor, Thor's eye and stuff.
Well, I was gonna say in Ragnarok they did it with like, there's the scene with Loki on the bridge, and like the trailer they got the little like cliffs in the background stuff too.
Oh, so, and so I'm just like, I'm not even 100% sold that the suits that we're seeing him in are necessarily the suits.
True.
But I also read a crazy fan theory that was so the scene on the bridge where Doc Ock like pops up and he's like, oh, hello, Peter, and I was like, oh, he's never seen that Peter. Why would he automatically like identify him as that? The suit that Tom Holland's wearing is actually the same exact outfit that Tobey Maguire was wearing in Spider-Man 3 when he went and saw MJ at her play. And a lot of people are saying, what if Tom Holland is actually the spirits of Tobey Maguire?
Astral projecting into,
he's actually, so like we see Tom Holland, but like
he's quantum leaping.
But everyone else sees Peter Parker as
Maguire
Andrew
in that one,
Garfield in
yeah,
the one
yeah.
world,
See,
and then
there's
Andrew-
there's also the possibility that those scenes are kind of adjacent context.
right.
That you know, he's not saying hello Peter to Tom Holland's Peter, that the other Peter is there.
Correct. But yeah, but a lot of people were saying like that, like the outfits that are some of the outfits that he's wearing are like very similar to outfits or scenery that were in the Amazing Spider-Man or the Raimi trilogy. And they're like, what if like the spell that Strange does, and like all three of the souls like are inhabiting like one vessel, and it's just like, so like to the villains from each vessel, they're seeing their guy. So it's like it is technically a cameo from Andrew Garfield.
Laya Paris asks, if Peter is time hopping, does he owe rent in all three worlds?
Yes, he does.
At least two of them.
At least two, because he doesn't pay
two.
in the MCU because he still lives with his aunt.
Right, he's definitely not a pizza boy yet.
Yeah.
Well, he is, but he's living with Aunt May still.
Right.
One of my favorite memes to come out of the No Way Home stuff is the Doc Ock looking at like this world's Aunt May. He's like, all right.
Let me shoot my shot. Let me shoot my shot.
Than the one I know.
Listen, not only would Doctor Strange or Doc Ock do that, I think Green Goblin would too. He's like, hey, listen, we broken bread together, ma'am. And
right in my world,
you know I'm rich.
In my world, right? You came over for Thanksgiving.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
You know, exactly. You know, shoot. Hey, I'm real sorry that your husband died. You know, my wife died.
Right. Things in common.
Wow, 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 wow.
Leans over. Single parenting's hard.
Right.
Right. He puts his hand on hers, and that's how Civil War actually starts. Right. Doc Ock and Green Goblin are fighting over Aunt May. There it is.
Right. They don't make a reference to the fact that Doc Ock and Aunt May dated in the comics at one point. I'm gonna lose my crap.
They gotta.
They made a better. They technically made a reference to it in freaking Into the Spider-Verse. With the Doc Ock in that universe was like, only my friends call me Liv. And then what does Aunt May call her?
Oh, look, it's Liv.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even peep that. Yeah.
That's right. On a first name basis there, are we?
That's crazy.
Totally. Aunt May knows how to experiment. What's up?
Look.
I'm just saying.
Happy wasn't making her happy.
Hey.
Had to get it somewhere else.
Listen.
So we also have Nick talking about how there's something on TikTok about deep faking Tom Holland over Tobey Maguire in that suit.
That's
stuff like that. Yeah,
saying. Yeah, like that scene.
I can see that.
So it would be interesting to see what if we actually got back on topic of what if though.
Yeah. Sorry.
Next
what if
event.
That's what happened?
Look, that's the thing about this show is like it's branching out so much and giving us possibilities. And originally, like 2 years ago when they first announced it, I thought these were literally just going to be like, it's fun experimentation, and it is that. Right. But they did say that everything that happens in these is technically canon in the MCU as well. I really dig that they're going the comic route where they're expanding to have other stuff. Like I hope they bring in comic versions of characters.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So yeah,
Deadpool is definitely showing up in What If season 2.
I swear,
it's happening.
Why do you think they'll wait till season 2?
Because aren't they like still trying to like play like real close to the vest, or with like where they're gonna like drop him in at?
I mean, I think this would be perfect.
I would love it.
They've said specifically that they're still doing Deadpool 3, and that's like literally everything that we've heard about like Deadpool's involvement in anything.
Okay.
I remember hearing that like he's definitely gonna have involvement with other characters. They're just like trying to find the appropriate way.
Yeah,
because they said they want to keep the Deadpool shit like rated R to stay true to the brand, but like have a way.
See, I take a little issue with that. Like, this show is technically like a PG-13 level, and it was pretty dark and heavy and
very true.
You could do it.
I still think you can get away with doing Deadpool in a PG-13 situation. Have either of y'all seen that? Was it Ultimate Spider-Man, the animated series?
I love that show.
There's a Deadpool episode, and it is granted it's PG-13. It's appropriate for kid TV show,
right?
But it's still very Deadpool. Like everything about it to the point where he flashbacks to stealing a jet from Tony Stark. And he talks about he can't say he's like, I can't say the K word. We have to unalive them. And then Peter's like,
we have to unalive them.
Peter's like, you mean kill them? And Deadpool's response is, oh You could say the K word. I can't say that.
Well, I mean, Deadpool
That's
2 had
hilarious.
a PG-13 version.
That
so,
thing sucked.
It was fine.
as a comparative to the R, sure.
You're right. So
But-
I'll refrain.
I was gonna say, ask my kids, and they're like, "This is
way.
amazing."
Yeah, I think it's fine. Because I honestly, like, we watched it as well and was very much like, okay, it's Deadpool 2. Like,
I'll bet if we go back and watch frame for frame, Deadpool is in every episode of What If, and we just never noticed.
Probably that wouldn't surprise me at all.
that would be awesome.
Hey, I would love that.
I just, what I really want is a scene with a watcher watching, and you just see a pair of like yellow eyes go, and he's like, doing a stupid thing.
That was crazy.
Yeah, or he's like, you're really creepy. You're like, wait, what? How can you see me?
All right.
Elias says into the Deadpool verse with Gwynpool, Pandapool, and Dinopool.
Into the Deadpool.
See, you know what the best one would be if they wanted to introduce Deadpool with What If is the zombie episode, because the zombie, the decapitated zombie head of Deadpool is like one of the best things ever.
Yes. Somebody, if that's not in the background, I'm not watching the show anymore.
Why I'm
gonna tell y'all that right now. Like, y'all come back like, oh, the whole series was dope, and I'm like, nope.
I stopped.
They failed it here. Like,
I stopped.
It retroactively made the rest of the series bad.
Without question. Like, I just can't. Yeah.
The last season of Game of Thrones retroactively made the whole show bad.
Cultural phenomenon almost comparable to Lord of the Rings, and no one talks about it anymore.
Seriously.
Literally.
It was where's the watcher then? He didn't come back and be like, yo, just make it brighter. Just make it brighter, yo.
All they sold out to make a Star Wars shit just to get fired from the Star Wars shit. So like, y'all did us like that, and y'all didn't get the job.
God don't like ugly. Okay,
that's
God don't like ugly.
Exactly.
You gonna learn today.
They say, yo, we saw what you did with Game of Thrones last season. Nah. Never mind.
What other stuff? What are you looking forward to in the next few episodes? Like anything specific that you can't wait for? You're hoping for some sort of like other appearance other than Deadpool? Like what are we looking forward to?
Yeah. I'm loving the anticipation, because like we were saying before, when they had first announced this, I thought it was like a series of just, oh, we can do this here because we can't do it in the movies type things. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But it's just like, I feel like there's this big thing coming from this show, like something that is gonna drastically affect like the MCU moving forward.
Which arguably they've been doing that with all their shows. Like, it's been minor stuff. You think that all these shows are going to be like, oh, they're just so they can have stories for these characters, but every season of those shows have ended with something that is earth-shattering.
Yeah, Kevin Feige saying, "Oh, you don't need to watch the shows for the movies." No,
you lying.
Shut up.
You don't need to, but I would if I were you.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah. How are you going to go watch the new Captain America movie when you didn't even find out how Sam fully became?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
Well, I saw he got the shield in the last one, so I figured he was definitely going to be Cap. Slow down.
He's in inferences.
We live in America, man. It's not that easy.
Yeah, like. Actually, if I can be honest, the thing that I'm looking forward to the most now is the art book for this show. I want to see the production material that went into everything, because I have to, like, for all the gripes that I might have story-wise for any of it,
it looks amazing.
It does look amazing. And I just want to see, like, what was the process for how y'all figured out what stories to tell? Because the truth is, you're talking over 20 films that you could potentially pull a question from and go in any direction. How did you decide?
I wonder if some of them. I wonder if some of them also have something to do with, like, maybe stories in the comics, because a lot of the movies do loosely pull from comic stories, even if they don't do it accurately.
Right.
So I'm kind of wondering if that's some of it too. Or I mean, they may be building to some big thing as well.
Yeah.
That may not affect the other movies as much as it does the next season of this.
True.
But who knows?
I'm looking forward to Ultron though.
Yeah, Vic, that was a good one, because it's like, obviously Captain Carter, that's low hanging fruit. Like, that didn't take a lot of brain power to like to do that one. But like Killing Hope, like, who thought of that? Like, Killing Hope is the Nexus event, or is this like,
I'll tell you who thought of it. Hank Pym thought of it.
There you go. There you go.
Although I do maintain, I've said this in previous conversations about that episode. Hank Pym couldn't kill anybody with powers. He got lucky with the Hulk because he attacked Bruce Banner. What he did to him would have killed Banner for sure. He just got lucky that it did kill the Hulk.
Yeah, that him doing that, I was like, why didn't anyone ever think of that before?
Well, just kill Banner.
Just blow him up.
Technically, he didn't even fully kill Banner. He did, because arguably, even if it didn't kill Hulk, it would have made Hulk literally impossible to do anything because he'd be a giant heart-shaped
messy,
pretty
very
much.
Sticky.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely would be curious to see like the process of like, all right, we're working with this movie and this is what we're changing.
Right.
For sure. Because it's definitely very obscure picks. Like, but I love it.
So I love it. As an additional side note, like, I don't know how much, I mean, I know, Victor, you're in comics. If you've been keeping up with the Marvel announcement from this week about their new things coming up, one of the titles is like Avengers Forever or something like that, the Forever Avengers. And it's supposed to be plane hopping Avengers that go to different realities and solve problems. And I'm wondering if it's this. Like,
oh my god!
If this is building them.
Damn.
This is supposed to be the link to the movies from the comics, et cetera, et cetera.
That would be fantastic. It's a retread of a title. There is a title called Avengers Forever that's out right now that is Kang heavy. So that is very possible.
Well, and connected. It starts with a like time something. I can't remember the name of the season, the little short arc, but that is like starring Kang. So
I think you might be onto something with this big, massive connection between it all, which we've been waiting for anyway. Like,
something's coming. I feel it in my bones. Something big's coming from this show.
Definitely.
That's a great place to end it because we are very close to the end of the thing. If you guys, Victor, why don't you plug what you got going on?
Sure. As always, you guys can read some of the best comics to ever come out, pinned by my hand at Vantage In-House. You can check out vantageinhouse.com. Follow me at Vantage In-House on all forms of social media. And if you want to make comics, I help you do just that with You Create Comics. That's the letter U, CRE, the number 8 comics.com. We have all kinds of supplies and programs. We serve, the general public as well as educational facilities to help everybody make their own original comics.
Boom, that part.
I may have to put my wife in touch with you. She's an English teacher and loves to use graphic novels in the classroom as a way to promote work for kids.
Absolutely.
Hardest working man in comic books.
Matt,
what do you got going tagline on? So when I'm not hanging out with you amazing gentlemen and Yali, get well soon, my dear, every Thursday for this and all the other fun stuff you guys bring me back for, I am part of the Ether podcast. That's EITHER. The I is silent. We didn't spell it wrong. It is short for Elephant in the Room. It is every Sunday on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. You can follow me on Facebook. That's Matthew Porter with 2 T's. And on Instagram, I'm _menace2sobriety. And the 2 is just a number, not spelled out.
And I'm Joe. I've been your guest host for 2 episodes. Yali should be back next week unless anything changes. And I'm excited to see her. She's amazing. And because she's way better at this than I am. This has been fun. Don't get me wrong, guys. I have enjoyed this, but she is a way more concise host than I am. That's been our episode over What If. We'll be back next Thursday. Enjoy yourself and make sure to follow your fandom.
Peace.